Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Talk about some of these biggest names. We mentioned Kobe Bryant earlier. He's down to 5. I'm not sure where he stands on his visits, but you can kind of tell how important he is to people in the transfer portal and some of these bigger programs just by looking at the list that he has. So I know you got some info on Aiden Mahaney. I know you have some info on Great Osobor. I know you have some info on Jonas Adu. So let's start with Aiden. What's the latest on his transfer recruitment and where he stands right now?
So he's visited Baylor already. He's going to Arkansas this weekend. Then he'll go to North Carolina. He's also got Alabama in the equation, but he hasn't set a visit there. The leaders,
Just, this is
according to
Jonas
people I've
Adu.
talked to.
This is Jonas
Huh?
Adu, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Jonas.
Um,
Yeah.
the leaders are right now probably Arkansas and Baylor. A lot of people thought Carolina was out. They're still in there. Again, Alabama doesn't have a visit set up yet. So Adu is somebody that, again, one of the best bigs on the market right now. And my guess is he'll choose between Baylor and Arkansas at the end of the day. So that's a big one. Aiden Mahaney, a huge one for me. I know you're
Which
not as
is the
big
guy
a fan.
that's the guy that I actually asked you about on this question, not Jonas Adu. I did ask you
Oh,
about Aiden Mahaney. So why don't you fill us in on the guy that we all want to know about, Jeff?
Adu, Aiden. I mean, you can see where I can get a little
Tough, man.
confused, right?
You got to turn your
Aiden
hearing aids
Mahaney's
up,
on
old man.
campus. Yeah, he's on campus at Stores right now. I got to turn up my hearing aid, I guess. He's on campus at UConn right now. He just came from a visit to Virginia. He's been to Creighton. He's going to go to Kentucky. There's still a chance. I think he could go back to St. Mary's, but generally, once you put your name in the portal, you're not going back. That's a rare. So, I think if you look at it and you say to yourself, like, where does he fit the best? I think you're looking at 3 elite offensive coaches, right? I mean, you're looking at Creighton and Greg McDermott. You're looking at Dan Hurley, what he's done over the last couple of years at UConn, and Mark Pope now at Kentucky, formerly at BYU. My question to you, I'm going to pose it to you about your UConn Huskies and Dan Hurley. Is Mahaney a good fit with Hurley and UConn?
I wonder about the personality aspect. You know him as a kid a little bit more than I do. So that's a little bit of that's the big question I have. As a player, I think he'd be fine. I think there are guys that are still available that I think might be a little bit better than him, but he is a bigger guard. He is a shot making guard. He can kind of play on the ball. He can play off the ball. You don't necessarily have to have him be the guy with the ball in his hands at all times. I think you could put him next to Sandiara and have it be able to work. I think you could put him next to Ahmad Noel and have that be something that is able to work. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining, so it's not just a 1 year thing with him coming in. But I would not hate it if he was the point guard. I don't know if it's necessarily looking like a situation where you have Cam Spencer coming in again. Does that make sense? Like, I hope that the expectation is not for him to be a guy that ends up being a first team All Big East, potential All American, potential NBA player, because I don't think that that's quite what Aiden is.
Agreed. Last update quickly. Great Osobor, Utah State transfer, 6'8", 6'9", going to visit Kentucky, then Louisville, then Texas Tech. Then he's going to give his coach, Danny Sprinkle, who's now at Washington, the last shot on the visit. So Osobor, I mean, you got a bunch of guys, but I will say this, Rob, the deadline is basically a week from today, May 1st. Look for some bigger names to jump in here because it's a deadline, as Jeff Borzella reported, not just for the undergrads, but also for the grad transfers.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.